a lot of people are questioning, what is Random Character Collective's involvement in this? What sort of relationship do they have with Adam Ape? There was a question actually just recently by JP was asking, okay, so is this an Adam Ape collection and Random RCC is just like backing him up or showing support, or is this an RCC collection and Adam Ape is just the artist? And honestly, like I was sitting there, I was like, I honestly don't know that. For me, I was always, this is Adam's passion project, and this is not FUD. This is actually just a serious question.
Yeah.
For some reason, price has gone down to 0.35, which that feels free. That feels so free to me. I'm loading up right now and grabbing like 2 of those at least minimum. But nonetheless, as far as like this FUD, and how do you guys feel about reveal? I guess that's the real question too. Let's go with Door, JS, then Joe.
For those who don't know, I've been holding 4x4 since like 20 Sol, and then I picked up a supply chain voxel around 50-ish. So I mean, I don't want to say I'm like super positive on terms of profit, but I'm not doing bad either with them sitting at 0.35. So I mean, I like the art, man. I think it delivered. I don't have any issues with it. Adam's like nothing about Adam has changed from Mint and why I picked him up. So I'm just going to continue to hold. At worst, I got exposure to ETH now with Adam Ape, so I'm not complaining at all. In terms of the FUD on the timeline, I don't know how to directly answer that, but I know Adam likes to give value back to his holders, and Iron Paw is one of his projects, so I don't see why he wouldn't give value back to that. So, I mean, we can talk about the intricacies of, is this a RCC project? If that's what, I don't even know that's them. Rare something collective?
It's Random Character Collective. So
yeah, Random Character.
A little bit of background. They did Invisible Friends over, as well as some other collections too over on ETH, but I would say Invisible Friends is arguably the most notable collection over there. And yeah, there's also some more FUD. Thank you, Yuki Solana, for coming up with that. Let's go ahead and post that real quick. He is asking, he was like, price drop is because FUDding the team got purebreds. That's silly FUD to me, dude.
Yeah,
like, are you kidding me?
Bro, did like the team get all the purebreds, or did one team member get a purebred?
I don't know. I guess
I think people got to realize too that people move narratives in ETH, right? People, like, you might think, oh, that's foo-foo, that would never happen. People with money that can come together, 3 or 4 guys with some ETH to throw around. You FUD something down in a certain way, it's easy to FUD, you pay people whatever you got to do to bot things. You FUD something down for entries, especially with Blur now, man. There's a lot of money being made, especially when you have an Adam Ape narrative behind that. And I think that it's an easy FUD down, accumulate high, FUD sweeps away, and then they pump, they make a bunch of money. So you got to be careful with this. It's like being a minnow on the whale's back, like plankton, right? You're hopping on, you kind of ride the waves and see what happens in the market, right? Because what else has changed with Adam Ape and the project himself, right? Has he promised anything that hasn't happened yet? Like what you have to really get down to the brass tacks when this is, because it's a lot of just head noise at the end of the day. And I think people get manipulated and pushed out of positions for losses, and then turn around and FOMO back in on the back end for exit, and then they lose all their liquidity and they're gone from the market, and then they got a bad taste in their mouth, and it's all because they get chopped up in whale manipulation, man, and flood play. And I just think you guys got to start really thinking about this stuff when this type of stuff happens.
No, that's well said, Joe. Like, that's well said, man. And this is why it's important to build conviction in your plays, man. It's like, unless something that you notice changes in your investment thesis, you shouldn't let the FUD get to you. At worst, at best, you should be buying that FUD, because if your conviction is still there, that's a buying opportunity for you. With me and Adam, like, even though I didn't know anything about the FUD that's going on, why I invested in Iron Paw literally hasn't changed. Nothing changed from what Adam said he was going to do. So why do I need to sell my bags? I don't.
No, not at all. JS, what do you think about all this?
Yeah, I mean, the FUD about the team getting a rare NFT, that's kind of silly. I guess it's a bit more difficult to process because the supply is lower than, your normal collections and stuff. But people, I think, always just, there's the jealous tendency, and it's like, oh, that should have been me type of thing. And that's where it stems from. Unless it was completely coordinated, I have no issue with it whatsoever. And I actually think it's good that someone on the team can represent some of the premier art, in the collection. Something very similar is like with Aaron and Utes. He has that 1 of 1, and he rocks from time to time. You're like, oh, cool, that's his 1 of 1. And building a brand around some of the most exclusive art in your collection, especially if you're on the team, is very worthwhile and good for them. I think with Adam and IPG in general, and then the connection with RCC, I think like logically, if I had to just look at this, I don't know anything in specific, but Adam probably just understands the art, and he probably partnered with RCC to kind of handle the whitelist, to handle just the mechanics and just the semantics of building out the mint in terms of marketing and stuff like that. So they obviously must have some partnership deal there, and maybe there's some future collaboration. I don't know. That's just me speculating, but I still think it's an Adam project.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I mean, look, this has been his love child, well, love child's probably the wrong word there, but it has been his absolute art baby. You know what I mean? Like, he has fostered this for a while now. He was the first guest we had on RareFUD, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah, I think he was.
Yeah, and that was a while ago, dude.
Wow,
and he's been working on this for a while. He didn't make it public, but I mean, he's been working on this for probably a year now, and it's all been him. It's been his animation, it's been his art. He might have had a little bit of help as far as, maybe some of the technical side, or maybe on a few animations or anything, but it's really been like 90% Adam on the art side. So I just don't get why that would be like, it is a legit question, because I would love to know more about the relationship and just like how it operates, what sort of relationship do you guys have? But in the grand scheme of things too, as far as the FUD goes for the team member getting the rare, there was 40 purebreds, right? This is a 4,000 collection size. You had a 1% chance of getting it. Really, that's a really good chance compared to a lot of collections. You know what I mean? And top of that, there's 40 purebreds, but 20 of them were split up. So really, there was 60, right? You could have got a one-on-one that had both of them together, or you could have got a purebred mech, or you could have got a purebred pilot. There was 20 of each of those with different, pairings and stuff. So there was a 1.5% chance of you getting a purebred in some way, shape, or form. Maybe like a purebred, or a mech, or a pilot by themselves. To me, that's really good odds. So why are we FUDing this is a buy the FUD moment. Honestly, I will tell you right now, look, my risk is not your risk. We always say it on this show. I'm buying the FUD. I am absolutely buying the FUD. You give me all that FUD, I will eat it up. If
you're not buying during FUD and not buying through times of silence, and you're buying only when you're hearing about it, audio, you're late. And that you still make 1.5 to 3x. You still do it, right? But it's times of like that gut check, like when no one else is with you, when your homies aren't with you, when you're looking around in a dark room and you're just taking a leap. That's when you make money, right? And it's hard. But at the end of the day, it's like, do you have it in you to trust yourself and have conviction and have risk management? If not, this space isn't for you. And I think that's a hard pill to swallow. It's a conversation we don't want to have. There's a lot of people in this space that have liquidity that should not be investing in Web3 and NFTs. They don't have the mindset, they don't have the gut check for it, and they end up being salty and pushing a false narrative for us. So I think that's a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people too, right? Is like the actual mindset. It's okay, right? Like, I can't do accounting, I can't do chemistry, I can't do a lot of things. I really can't, right? But I can do some, and I found my niche. Like, it's okay if this isn't yours. So don't try to like overextend yourself and keep losing money. There's different avenues for money in every way you could think about in this world. Web3 is a great place for communication and networking, but you don't always have to put your money out there, right? You don't always have to be a flipper. You don't always have to be a trader. You could be in Web3, be in communities, and really network and build yourself an infrastructure for business in Web2 as well. So there's always two sides of the coin, guys. So don't always feel like you're missing out on the mint, missing out on this. If you have people that you could reach out in other states and meet up and do things, and they can maybe hook you up with some type of logistics consumer, whatever you need for your business, that's a win too, right? That's like 2x in a trade. So just keep that in mind.
Absolutely. I think that's
well said, dog.
And some great advice, Joe.